Hello. The general topic of my concept map is addiction, as you can see in the center of the page. Addiction's an interest in my life. It's a primary purpose of my acquiring an education right now is to become an addiction counselor. But it's a huge topic. I found this exercise very informative and very beneficial in helping to organize my thoughts and to narrow the topic into something that is feasible to put into a speech. If I was just asked to talk about addiction, I could probably talk for days, and that would wear out the audience and really be unproductive. So, at the top left-hand corner of the paper, I wrote informative speech, and that was for my benefit. So, as I was brainstorming ideas about what possible areas of topics subtopics I could discuss, I wanted to remind myself that this is not to be a persuasive speech, it's an informative speech, because I could very easily, on the topic of addiction, get sidetracked into trying to make an argument, and that's not the purpose of this speech. So let me try and explain my chicken scratch a little bit and the way my brain works. North of addiction, I put on there prevention, and south of it, I put treatment. And so those are really the two primary subtopics of my interest when talking about addiction, is how do we prevent it, and afterwards, how do we treat it. About 8 o'clock from prevention, I put education and awareness. I didn't put these down in any kind of a pattern or organizational structure. I just threw stuff down there. As I thought of things, I wrote them on a page. So education and awareness, I believe, is a key to prevention of addiction. Sorry, I'm in an RV. My wife and dog are out building sandcastles, and I'm doing homework. So it's a little bit, there's a lot going on around me right now, but it's kind of cool. North of education and awareness, I put religious influence, because I believe that plays an important factor in prevention, or can play an important factor in prevention. Above that, we have pre-existing factors, and then I broke off from pre-existing factors into genetic and early childhood development. About 1 o'clock from prevention, we have parental influence, because I believe that's very key in prevention of addiction. Is what did the children grow up in? What influences did they have that the parents could control? So then subtopics off of parental influence, we have were the children raised in religious versus secular homes. That's what that says, religious versus secular. I know that's my own version of English. ACOA, adult children of alcoholics. If the parents are alcoholics, that influences the children becoming alcoholics. And there's a lot of information that I could do a whole informative speech just on the influence of adult alcoholism on the children. And active parenting versus passive parenting, which is also it's two parental types that play a significant factor in the development of addictions. Going south from addiction into the treatment subcategory, then I have intervention on the left-hand side, because that's really a key factor in treatment. And then from that, that made me think of motivation and developing intention, because that's kind of it's almost a subcategory off of intervention, but it's different. So I just put it down at the bottom. One made me think of the other, so I put it down at the bottom, and they go together, but they don't. Um, Economic factors is important in treatment, as well as opportunities. Again, they kind of go together and they kind of don't. People with better economic stability have more opportunities for addiction treatment. That's just a fact of life. But they are also separate categories because there's more to opportunities than just economic factors. And then again, like with prevention, there's the religious versus the secular. And treatment, there are basically two options, and one is to use Christianity for addiction treatment, and the other is to not use Christianity. So that's an important topic that could be discussed all by itself. So that's, in a nutshell, that's my concept map. And from any of those subtopics, I could very easily research and write an informative speech